Welcome to the Baltic Islands series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In this part, what I want to do is shift the focus down to making a start on laying out the new town down, which will be down in the bottom part of the map here. But before that, I've got a couple of fixes I need to do and an experiment. First fix I need to do is put in a doctor's surgery into both Kalas and down over here as well. In fact, we'll start here because I need to go back to Kalas to do the other fixes. And I think this would be the easiest one to put in. And now, if I remember correctly, what I should be able to do is find hospital, a small little doctor's office here. It's only going to have, I think it's only got one ambulance, but I think it'd be enough to get started with here. To try and hook that road there. But it's going to cost me $11,000. Now I've got to watch the dollars, and I'll have to stop around $100,000 simply because when we get to setting up the trains, I want to use to import cement. And as far as I can remember, the only cement truck at this time in the game has to be purchased in dollars. I can't afford to scrap all those dollars, so I'm going to be very careful with the dollars. In fact, I think we'll build these one at a time so that I can keep an eye on that. So build this, plus I want to see the coverage anyway, plus we're going to need to put an ambulance in. I'll just build this up. This, in theory, this should cover the whole area here. Walking distance is pretty good. You can see we've only got the one slot for an ambulance, but just drop one in like that. We've still got $220,000 about to say rubles. We got a bus platform out here because this is where we put our heating plant in. I'm wondering whether if I can put a doctor's surgery here, because that's effectively connected up to everything, isn't it? So we're gonna put in, where is it again? That fit in there. That's just a little bit too tight. I mean, that would be a really good position if I can get it in here. Like that. And we can get the little mud foot. No, I don't want a road, I want a footpath. Yeah, look at that. Probably will get this out as well. Yes, we can. I think we'll hook you up there. Possibly there. Just check, and we'll just build that. I mean, I'm allowing the date to creep forward, but we are approaching the point where we're going to be able to start playing the game normally. And we'll just go by there. We've got some staff turning up immediately. Hopefully we're going to have the educated staff to do this. Yeah, look at that. You've got some nice cover of a big chunk of the town. So that's the doctor's surgeries in. Now, the one thing I did realise is that we've got a farm here. And we've got nothing to do with the crops, because this road really isn't up to shipping crops down to there. And what I would like to do in the long term is make this into a food production area. What we're going to do is, where's it? A food factory. Let's put a... this is $100,000. Too expensive, way too rich. So we're going to flip to rubles, and I'm only going to consciously now spend dollars when I actually need it. I think that will ensure that I won't spend them by accident. And we got just under 10 million rubles to spend. I put we need a bus stop here, aren't we? As well. Where's the road connection? Just on that corner there. I think if we put, it's probably a little bit, you don't need heat, do you? No. Thank goodness. I think if we put you in about there, we'll just tuck in the silo behind like that. And then we'll put a warehouse over here. Actually, we bring the roads together. Actually, don't. Yes, we can bring the roads together like that. And we're going to need a bus stop. I think that's going to be outside walking distance. Unless we put a footpath there, but is that a bit too close? No, I think we'll gamble on that. I mean, truthfully, the pollution for a food factory, what's the pollution? 7.5 tons a year. But at the same time, this is not going to be running at full capacity. Into here like that. Let me just see here. Cancel. I think we can fund that in dollars. Cancel. Fund you in dollars. I'm going to fund you in rubles, aren't we? Just make sure. Apologies for the paranoia. And we've got this here. Cancel that, check that. Yeah, I think we're going to fund this in dollars, and then that would be the end of me spending dollars. You can come down there. Just going to build this up. Oh. Yeah, okay, just let this build through. Yeah, we're going to get very close to the $100,000, aren't we? We should be okay. Yeah, let's leave that on rubles. So we got this factory here. I'm not going to set the bus route up just yet, simply because we got no crops. We've got a few months to worry, so we don't need to worry about setting the bus route up there. Now, the experiment that I want to conduct is based on a suggestion somebody made, and I kind of thinking about how this can be done. Probably just to show, again, it's another mod. It comes into here. And it's factories. I've got to find it now. It's producing fuel from wood. Yeah, finally found it. Wood to gas conversion plant. 29,000 rubles. So we got that there. But what we're going to need to put in is a logging camp. Let me just find wood cutting post. Now I'm putting this out here, but this is very much a temporary experiment. It's not going to remain in the long term. But I just want to try this out just to see how effective it's going to be. Then we'll just come back to the mods. Just put this in here. Leave enough gap in between for the bus station. Put you in there. Take the road out there and there. And we'll put in a small bus stop in just in there like that. And just going to let that build. And this I do want up and running from the beginning. We got let that build. While that's building, what I would like to do is put another bus stop just in this corner here. Small bus stop just there. We put something a bit bigger. I think maybe we'll put something a little bit bigger here, because eventually this is going to be quite dominant in the area. Just pause the game again. So we need to get put a few trucks in. Of course, we're going to need to bring workers out to here so that we can work this together. Right, where did I put my... the vehicle depot, isn't it? So we're going to buy a 52-seater and also want a microbus, because what I want to do is send the ordinary bus out to here, and I want to put a microbus connection to there. And I am being slowly converted to using this line manager more. But remember to use the town. Callus. All this callus wood fuel. And then we need to save that. And we need to set this line here. I don't think... I keep wanting to click here, but as far as I know, you can't actually add it that way. You've got to come over to the actual here. And what you're going to do, I think that's the right one, isn't it? Of the educated workers, we're going to unload here. And click there to launch the bus. I just want to make sure these are the right way round. I'm really trying very hard to name things as I go along. For you, Alice would fuel. What can we call this? Actually, I'll call this Alice fuel bus stop. Bus stop. Because this one will be the bus stop to there, but once this disappears, eventually we'll have nuclear fuel out here. That should work here. I want to have a check. Yeah, I do really need to rename some of these a little bit. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. What I want to do now is create a new line from there to here. And we're going to call you Alice Local. And what we're going to do is save that, and then we're going to add minibus there. And this time you're not going to carry workers. Your job is just to allow residents to wander backwards and forwards. So you can be bi-directional. Just going to kick you off there. So I think that's every. So we've now got the fuel in here. As I say, this is very much an experiment in. Knock that down. I don't want that many people working in there. And same here. Knock you down to say 15. Yeah, this is very much an experiment in how much fuel am I going to get out of here, and whether I can actually. This is going to be very much an experiment in how much fuel I can get out of here. Yeah, this is going to be very much an experiment in how efficient this is and whether I can sustain the fuel in this town with that in the short term. I mean, obviously in the long term, because if it produces a reasonable amount of fuel, when we're pushing out creating rural settlements, rather than having to run trucks over to deliver it, it could be quite useful. Also need, we got one truck here. I think it's going to buy an oil tanker. I don't think I want anything too big. Go with the 7-ton one. You're going to pick up from there. You're going to load fuel. And I've forgotten where the here. Let you try and keep 50% full. There's, I think, you're 30%. If I got a fuel, oh, there's a bit of a fail here. No, I mean, actually, yeah, this is a little bit icky, isn't it? Okay. What I am going to do is put a little fuel depot in here. Put a rural fuel depot in about here. Build you up. We got auto purchase on. Yes. We'll just drop the auto purchase down to there for the moment. Not the minimum. The moment. Where'd the distribution office go? There it is. And add you to that as well. Make you 50%. I think we'll keep these at 50%. And then we've got the auto purchase as a backup just to see if that actually works. Right, I'm a long way into this video and I haven't even started on the main, what I want to do, which is down here. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a tour of where we're going to be building. We're going to be building in here. And I've actually named this Nowa Hooter. Now, if anyone lives in Poland, you probably know what Nowa Hooter is. It's quite a modern town that was built during the Soviet period. It's right next to Krakow. And I think this... and I was really attracted by this name because it fits in with what we're going to be creating here. We're going to be creating a modern Soviet town industrial complex which will drive the overall economy, but in the short term it's going to need to be supported by the more traditional houses up there, because the big problem we got here is the depot, so we're not going to put that much through here. So in some ways what I'm going to be trying to do here is build a self-sufficient economy that will then allow me to expand out, get a port out here, because our main exports are going to be out via the port. So and also that some exports are actually going to have to go this way. So upgrading this road to get to this town here is going to be very important, because eventually we're going to have quite a big train marshalling yard in there. But that's out there outside the scope of this video. Right, the first thing I need to do is put in a fire station, because we need to protect this junction here, these junctions here, and provide cover. Quite interested in, if I say I put a dirt road down here, I'm just going to switch the wire. It's all a bit. If I can come down to about there, I'm going to hook into about there. Turn the wireframe off again. And what I'm going to do first thing is build a fire station. This is going to be... There's no point building anything else if I can't protect it. Just going to let this build on auto build. Right, got the fire station. Now, have I chosen well? A bit. I don't understand why the road over here isn't covered. But I'm quite happy with that because it covers the town centre. The road that goes directly up is going to be into my production area, and we've got a reasonable amount of cover on the way back to the border. We don't exactly reach the border, but I'm not going to build anything close to that border. And I think we're going to put in, well, I remember we're going to put those there. What I want to do now is lay out some road systems. I don't like this. This being a new town, it's going to be, well, it's definitely going to be gritty. Take you out there. I mean, this road is not exactly square, but okay, I'm just going to turn on the wireframe. Actually, this just quite like this as a position. I mean, it's like halfway between the town and this. Although I think, what was the coverage again? I think we're going to drop down and strike off, say, about here. Maybe Just strike off about here. And go for a mud road out like that. Probably will get rid of this road because it's across at an angle. No. Whoops, what's going on here? That was a little bit of a angled tab there. We've got a road down to there. I am going to get rid of this road at the moment. I mean, we'll put it back in later on, but I just want it to be there to get rid of the wireframe now. So we got our town centre here, and how am I going to approach this? We've got there's a power takeoff along here somewhere. Another potential power takeoff there. We're going to use those. I think I'm going to start with putting in my input-output area. So, well, we can put it in here. Let's just get that done. Let me see, where's the cargo station? So say we put that in there. I mean, we got loads of space, so I don't know why I did that, but what I'm going to do is turn off the auto build now, because a lot of the buildings I'm going to place, I'm not actually going to buy. I'm going to have to get in close. I want the road this way. Not, although strictly speaking, the road to this warehouse isn't that important, actually, come to think of it, because we're going to be using cargo in and out. Oops. Well, you there. And shipping. And we'll put you at a slight angle. Want the open store here as well. Although we can put the open store that way, can't we? I don't want to keep it. I want a small open store. Put you that way. And we'll put you about there. And then we'll put another cargo station going out that way. Like that. And we're going to put you across like something like that. Turn the wireframe back off again. Now, the reason I'm doing this type of setup is simply down to the fact that I'm going to need to very strictly control what goes in and out of this area here, because this is going to be more of an import area to get me up and running. What I will do is going to fund this with dollars. So I'm going to need an open store to get started. And we got the road there, which will come in that way. And then this will then feed up to this town here. Right, let's just start to lay out the town a bit. So we got the ability to bring into the warehouse. We got this here, which just needs a road connection. Though at the moment, the only thing I'm interested in is this area here. Now, up here is going to be our construction area, but that is going to be a long-term project. It'd be probably fit it in somewhere around here. Question is, do I build a small aggregate store down here for getting started so I can import gravel? Just see. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me just think. I think what I need to do is put in the facilities round the centre of town here. So the first thing we're going to do is put in a store. I'll put a small store in. Wait, tab. Not that. We want a small shopping centre. Only made a mistake there. And what we're going to have to do is put it in this way. I want it far enough away so I can get footpaths around it. Maybe we can just angle it a little bit like that. And then what I'm going to do is, oops, not that one, this one. What I'm going to do is put the meat store here rather than on the border, because we can then use this to distribute the meat. Then again, yeah, I think that will work. The only trouble is how big's the meat store? How much will this hold? 75 tons. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a meat store in, but I'm not going to build it straight away. That's going to be a little bit of a long-term prospect. Actually, just put it that way around. And then we're going to have a small storage area up here. Come in here, mod, storage. We're going to put the small warehouse in here. Put you down about there. And what we're going to do is flag the buildings I intend to build as we go along. So, no. Rubles. So we're going to build the factory connection and the small warehouse. So we got our shopping complex in. Next thing we're going to need is a bus stop. Kind of might be a bit, maybe it can be a bit different from normal. Stop being so boring. Put that there, and then you can hook in, say, from there to there. And we certainly want to buy you with rubles, make sure. Oh, so the roads are wrong. Small plans. Put the dirt roads back in again. We've got a bus stop there. We've got the shop. And what I would like is the school and the clinic on this side. So here, we'll just put the normal school in. About putting the school on this side. And I want the centre to be relatively loose, because we're going to build round it with apartment blocks. And because, again, let's just show you, we've got a population of 4,678. And I'm guessing that there's roughly a population of roughly around 1,500 people floating around the map. And what I'm going to be doing is, once I've got the town sent up, we're going to be bringing in the people in to populate this area. We got that there. So what was I doing? Education. Actually, let's just drop that in, about there. School there. And I think just to keep the theme going, hospital, I'm going to put a small clinic in. Could be cheeky and put the doctor's surgery. No, I think we're going to have a small clinic. I think the small clinic, well, that is a small clinic. I find 7 workers, 15 workers. I think this is my preferred small clinic, isn't it? How much is that? 22 tons of concrete, bricks, boards. Yeah, we'll put it that way round. We've got a small clinic in here like that. So we've got the shop, we've got transport, we've got education, health, but we won't build the house straight away. And we've got, of course, the next thing we need is to think about is heating. Now, next thing we need to think about is where we're going to put the residents, isn't it? I mean, right. Got the basics. So let's just now look at residential. I want this to look modern, and so it'll be a contrast to the other areas. Because this one, I want to present this as a new town. Now, I don't really want to fill this up with... Let's just see, how close is this? Let me just go to my favorites. 131 workers. 165. I think this is one of my favorite blocks, isn't it? Yeah. I think we can get maybe 2 blocks this way. Create a slightly staggered effect here. We can put a block here. What am I putting in here? These are 165 workers. And I think we can like have a little bit of a development area here. They like they're on the angle. Get one more in there. Okay. Ideally, I'd like to get the path off there. And we got cancel those out. Of course, it's picked up the gravel road here. It's done the same there. Just gonna fill you in like that. And I get a footpath of that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And down to about there. Just curve you around like that. Put you in there. Put a footpath through here. Another one down. You there, you can connect up there, you can connect up there. That's annoying. This one's a bit... Okay, you're gonna have to go. Whoops. Just trim you back a little bit. If we put this... Wow, again, I want a footpath up round the top there. I think that will work. Like footpath. Come off it, game. I think we should... it's probably too close to that road junction, isn't it? I have to go up like that. Got a whole series of small blocks around here. And then that opens up the opportunity for... I want to keep this open for a road to go there. Change the block round there. I want to put a little block, a couple of blocks of 60 here. Just get a problem now. You have to knock all these down and do it again. If I build these, what's going to happen is that they're all going to have citizens in. Just luckily, none of them auto-built. Oh, well, it'll give me an opportunity to redesign this area a little bit, won't it? Isn't this fun? Okay. Actually, just to be on the safe side. Pause again. tidy this up. Now I've got an idea of what I want to do. Let's put the main structural footpaths in first. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. This bit here is okay. This bit's probably a little bit raggedy. Yeah, nearly made a very costly mistake there. And I have to admit, the planning, I'm going to have to be completely honest, the sheer amount of planning I've had to put in to this, just trying to work out where I'm going to put everything has been phenomenal. I can't ever recall doing the amount of planning I've had to put into this series in any game I've played recently, not just Workers and Resources. It's been a real challenge. It's a little bit far out, but we can bring that back a little bit. Run that up to there. You through to there. That hooks that up to there. That hooks that up to there. Bring you out there. Okay, new strategy. You definitely got to get citizens off. What we'll do this time is we'll put the small blocks along here. Put 1, 2, 3 along here. Now these blocks are going to be for the workers who are going to work in the store. Get rid of you. Run a couple of footpaths out like that. We can connect it there. So these are going to be my local workers. Then what we're going to do is put in some bigger blocks around the back here now for the other workers. 165. Let me see. 50. That's too small. I don't want. I think we're going to go with 165 in workers in a block for the moment. Actually, just you up there. We're going to run this footpath up there. You into there. You into there. And we're going to bring you out like that. Then you're going to cross up like that. Yeah, I think that will work. So we're just going to go here, 165, and we'll put a little block of, bring you back a little bit, smidge, back to there. Oh, look at that, that fits on quite nicely onto that block there. Put the U behind there, put another block just in here, rotate you a little bit, and then I think we'll run up, and I want to leave enough space for a footpath alongside the road. Keep you there. Slightly not aligned, but I don't want it to be precisely as though it's been laid out. You know, it's not me. Must admit, I could not live in a place that's absolutely symmetrical. Even though I like symmetry, but it grates me. Probably the polite way of saying it. I'm just going to drop you in there, 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 through there. You've got a connection there. I'd like to have a connection there. You connect to there, you connect to there, you connect to there. You connect to there, you connect to there. I think that's probably enough residences, because we're going to be importing a lot of people from across the map. They're not going to be very happy. So what we're going to need to do is put in some culture. We'll put in a couple of small theatres. Slip one in there. And probably another one up here. And of course we're going to put a kindergarten in as well. And we'll just come in here. Put kindergarten out here. Always like the kindergartens on the edge slightly, simply because you always end up building more and more of them, whether you like it or not. So we got 2 theatres, and I think we're going to put some sport in as well. And we're going to build like 1 theatre for construction. So we're going to have to build that. We're also going to need to build the school. I want to build it from dollars. Want that there. Let those build. And what we need to say, the second theatre we will build ourselves. Then it just leaves to put in some sports playground. My instinct is to put in an athletics club. Maybe we'll just tuck in an athletics club. That's a little bit obscure because it's on the end of that. Maybe we'll put the athletics club up here. Give these people the benefit of yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit of a distance away. Yeah. The apartment block up here doesn't have connection to the shop, so I'll put you through there. What that should do is, so this one's not got the connection, probably because it's not connecting through here. So if we put you to there, yeah, we got a connection all the way through. Got a connection to the sports there. Can do just to help these people is want that out like that. Oh, no, cancel. What am I doing? Oh. Run you up behind like this. If you turn the corner, come into there. Take off these footpaths. And we'll put a sports grounds here. Let's put a standard sports ground here in the middle. Just rotate that a smidge. Maybe we'll just do it that way. And we're gonna flag you for purchase and you for purchase. I mean, they're really cheap, so it's not going to be a big problem. So we've now got this built up. I'm aware that this video's got the potential to go really long overdue. So I think what I'm going to do now is just try and speed through a little bit and talk about where I want to set a few things up. And what I want to do now is set up the heating up here in a similar vein to what I did up here. In fact, I might be able to speed the process up a little bit. I'll come in here. Let's see if we can get away with this. Generally, I don't like doing this, but we snag that. and then come down to here. I mean, the principle's the same. I mean, I'd like to put it in there, but it's a bit close, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna have to put it something like that, then possibly flip the roads around a little bit. This should speed the process up, because I want the heating plant close to here, but I also want the sawmill for a reason I'll explain once we got this put in. Maybe if I just maybe if I just rotate this a little bit, like yeah, I think we put the heating plant. I'm a bit worried about the fire station actually, isn't it? I need to keep. Okay, maybe we're just going to put the heating plant about here. All going to be a little bit of a mess. One of the problems when you do cloning, you've got to tidy everything up a little bit. Got a bus stop there. Get rid of you. And what we can do is remove you. We've got 2 bus stops here. Where's the road that comes out of the... Your road comes out this way. So, this road here. Substation here, which we probably don't need. So we'll demolish you. Demolish you. What we got here? We've got a small distribution office, which we're going to need, isn't it? I think we'll take out this road here. We'll take you out as well. And you. To there. You just come you back as well, there to there. Mount all this mess here. We've got a wood cutting post there, and the other one is here, isn't it? We got a bus stop there. We're going to need to keep. If we get rid of the distribution office as well. I know some of you are probably looking at this and thinking, why did he even bother cloning the stuff over? But the advantage of cloning is that if you've got something like this, you know that could possibly work. By copying over the main buildings, it just saves a lot of time. Kind of wondering whether I could take out that bus stop. Say we put a bus stop about there between the buildings now, because we're going to go up to that road up there. So say I put a bus stop there. And we run a road out there. You can connect to there. You can connect to there. The $6 million question is whether I can get up there. So let's just have a look at the footpaths. We need a road here to connect up to these, aren't we? We just take out. We're going to remove you. We're going to take a chance here. And actually, I'm going to probably the easiest way to make sure this actually works is, I mean, I'm sat on 10 million, whatever it is, rubles. So I think we're just going to tidy this up a little bit. Then we're going to go gravel roads here. And I think we'll put like a T-junction in here. We've got to connect up to that. something like that. You to there. Okay. And we're going to fund you with rubles. Oops. I think it's going to be worth the cost of the gravel roads, because we're going to have to purchase all this anyway. I think we can stick with the mud roads there. So we're just going to purchase with rubles, purchase with rubles, purchase with rubles, purchase fund with rubles, fund with rubles, fund with rubles. Start building everything up actually. Fund that. Fund that. The one thing we need to put back in here is the distribution office, isn't it? Which we really need to put over here because it's going to be pulling stuff from here to here. We'll put the small distribution office back in again. We'll keep the trend of the 5. There. And of course what we will do is put back in the gas station. What we'll do is we'll put that here. Okay, I'm just going to button this. Well, it's only $1,000, so we've now got this in here. And what we need to do now is put in a heat exchanger that's going to heat this area here. And I think this is far enough away. Just make sure with the fire coverage. It'd be annoying if it's not covered by fire. The reason I kind of put this same combination of heating and boards in here is that what I'm hoping is to get enough boards out of here to be able to send up to here so that I don't have to import boards by train. Because we don't use a lot of boards, and at the same time we'll have a bit of board production here for the building in this area. So I'm kind of half gambling on this being, so I'm kind of half gambling on this being enough to provide the boards. But if it isn't, we can expand this in this area here. So I think this is quite strategically placed to be able to do that. Probably going to have to accept that, considering the amount of buildings I put in here, the a single heat exchanger probably won't cover it. We could start with one there and then see how it goes, but I think the sheer amount of population we're going to have to put in here might be a bit of an issue. So part of me says if we put a heating plant down here, maybe put one over here. Now I'm going to put one here to start with, but if things aren't that good, then what I'll do is I'll add an extra one. I think probably having one just there, and then because what we can do then is come out of here, run straight down to there. If I come out, take the center one, come out like that, go over the road here, and we're going to run literally straight down into there. Questions. I think we should be able to build this in by winter, because I want to hang on to as much from the way of rubles as possible. We've got a heating plant in here. We've got this area here. And I need to make a decision on the asphalt. thing, because I'm going to put a major construction area in there. Now, actually, if I put a small aggregate store in this corner here, somehow I might be able to weave it into this production area with respect to a brick factory. Actually, let's think about this. Think. If I use the same pattern as I use in my divided series, the cement works would be about here. And then we come down here because I want to take gravel from up there. I'm just thinking, let me just look at this. A small aggregate storage in there. I'm looking to put, we want to deliver it. There's a power takeoff there, isn't it? Maybe if I put it this way, we could put a splitter in there to go to the, depends how far over I can push this. I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to put this in. And we'll put that there, is we can bring gravel to start with all the way up to here. Then eventually we could turn this into a coal supply for the brickworks. What we may have to do is put a conveyor into somewhere. Well, we could always build the brickworks up here, couldn't we? Away from the city. We could run a... What was the takeoff again? Apologies for this. Yeah, we could put a splitter in, say, here. Run up to a brickworks up here, because all bricks need is coal. And that would be far enough away from the town to avoid the pollution. And we can then run another one into the cement plant. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just going to fund that with rubles. Going to need gravel. And to start with, we're going to treat this as our gravel store. So we've got open store. We've got a warehouse here. And we've got that there. So I'm going to need another distribution office down here to be able to send stuff out to these buildings. So we can just use trucks. Actually, I'm going to plan a distribution office here. Let me just see. If we put a fairly big one in, will this cost me in rubles? 34,000. Oops, don't spend money on here. I think we're going to just drop this in here. And I am going to build this. So we're going to fund this with rubles. I think I've got the auto funding on, haven't I? I'm going to have to be a bit careful. I'm going to build that. Right, I'm aware this video is going over long, and a lot of this is repetition of what I've already done. And if I'm the rate I'm going, it's going to be hours before we kick this game off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put out some general concepts now. So what I'm thinking, we're going to need a gas station down here, aren't we? So in fact, we're going to need a couple of gas stations. We've got a small gas station up here, haven't we? So we're going to need to put a gas station in. And of course, I'm going to have to put the power in, but I'll put the power in off camera, to be honest. Actually, no, I want to put the gas station about here. No. No, we're going to have the gas station here. And then I'm going to need a construction office and a vehicle depot. Construction office wise, I want a fairly big one, but I don't want to go massive. How much are you lot going to cost? You're only going to cost me 10,000, so I think what I'm going to do is tuck the construction office. Yeah. And that's a little bit far away from the gas station, but fund you with resource, build you. And of course, I know we're about a power supply, but we'll sort you out later on. I mean, we can import the fuel from there, so we can turn that off, but I can't turn it off until I've actually got the power supply. I'll do the power supply off camera. And I think just to finish this video off, what I'm going to do is put in, come down, actually put the wireframe on so I can, I always get a little bit disorientated when I'm going through trees. I want to keep a space down against the border here to bring in rail tracks, because what I'd like eventually is to have a rail track connecting Foley Crossing all the way through here up to the port. And of course we'll have rail tracks going out in that direction as well. We've got lots of kind of area here. What's the fire coverage out here? Yep. Extend this road out a little bit. See how far the fire coverage will go. Then you right out like that. Oops. I mean, I'm putting a lot of eggs in one basket with respect to the fire station. We put a farm here. Actually, let me just put some fields in along here. So I can kind of try and min-max this a little bit. If we come across, say, 3 fields like that, and then put a road up here, very close in, and we can put the farm in here. And what I'm thinking with the crops from this farm, we're going to be making biofuel. Well, and of course, this farm, we're already in May, so this farm is going to be for the next cycle. So we're not going to be pre-purchasing any biofuel plants or anything like this. This is more long-term planning. Put you there. You up to... Yeah. Of course, we're going to a little gas station in as well. A gas station, small gas station in. Yeah. Right. Turn that off. There. Cancel that because we're going to build this in the gas station. There. Cancel that. Then what we'll do is put a standard distribution office, medium distribution office just there. Like that. And once I put the power in, what we'll have is a whole series of fields around here, because fields don't burn down, so we can put the fields out this way, some more fields in along here, and go down to the border, but only the depth of the road, so we've got plenty of space for rail tracks here. So I think this would be a good point to stop. What I will do is I will lay in all the main infrastructure around Nova Hooter. I'll probably put in the industry here, because what I want to do in the next part, because I'm aware that we haven't made much progress at all in real gameplay, because in the next part what I'd like to do is fill in this area here. We're going to have a construction yard here. And what I really want to have here is some food production, clothes, because to begin with, this is going to be my economic generator. So we're going to try and get the income that's going to keep us alive from this area here. This area here, to begin with, will have to be focused very much on self-sufficiency, because we can't really export down this border, but well, we might be able to, but not in a big way. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.